Hey, everybody, welcome back to another THI podcast here on TarHeelIllustrated.com. Some breaking news, as expected for quite some time now. Cade Tyson, 6'7" wing from Belmont University, which plays in the Missouri Valley Conference, pretty good league. And also a native of Monroe, North Carolina, has announced he is transferring to North Carolina. This has been something trending in this direction for a couple of weeks now. They had to get some stuff worked out to make it happen. That has finally occurred. So North Carolina gets its first piece, or at least a first significant piece, I think, from the transfer portal. This is somebody who can play a lot of minutes for the Tar Heels. This is somebody who's going to make the Tar Heels better. This is not an insurance pickup or anything like that. This is somebody you will see on the court playing for the Tar Heels next season. Very quickly, reminder, you would have been on top of the Cade Tyson information, aside from the stuff that's out there on all those fly-by-night sites and everything else, if you would have been a member of our community for just $8.33 a month, which is the same price for the last 10 years. For a one-year subscription, you would have access to all that stuff. You can be a Tar Heel insider too. I'm not going to get too much into that here in this one. I want to get right into Cade Tyson. Okay, what kind of player is he? Well, first of all, he can score. 16.2 points a game last year for Belmont, 5.9 rebounds, so he's a rebounder. 49.3% from the field, 41.7% from three-point range, and he's a high-volume shooter out there. Takes a lot of shots from the perimeter. As a freshman, he was the Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year, averaged 13.5 points a game for the Bruins that year. Okay, so the kind of player he is, he's a guy that can get you buckets. He's a guy that he'll get to the line some, but he's a stretch the floor player. He's a see the defense guy. He's someone the ball doesn't stick with him. He can swing it and he can get the shot off pretty quickly. He's got a little bit of a different kind of release. You'll notice it if you watch video of him. And in our commitment article, we have quite a few video clips and full games posted in that article. So go check it out on TarHeelIllustrated.com. That is a free article. You don't have to be premium for that, as about 75% of our stuff is free and not premium. And check it out. You'll see a lot of interesting things about his game, and you'll see a lot of the stuff that I've seen. He doesn't post up a ton. He's not a guy that could go down the block, stick his rear into somebody, get low, make himself available, catch, turn, and score. He's not that kind of guy. Most of the shots I saw him take were a couple dribbles and a jumper on the wing, a couple catch and shoots in the lane, a couple things in transition. But in a half-court offense set, he's a guy that's going to spread the floor for you. He's not going to get in anybody's way, and the ball doesn't stick with him. So he's a kind of player that dudes like to play with. He's a comfortable transition player, meaning he could transition probably into any kind of offensive scheme in college basketball. Because he's long at 6'7", he's got a quick release. He doesn't take, he values a quality shot. He doesn't take a lot of bad shots. He'll rush a few there at Belmont, but remember, he's playing for Belmont. There were times they were behind and needed buckets. So you'll see that at times in his game. He's a guy that can play with an edge. There are a couple of games last year where I actually thought he was going to get thrown out of one game because he got in a dude's face. Something happened, a few words were said, and Tyson was right up in his grill. So one of the things that we've talked about that Carolina needs to acquire in the portal isn't just a shooter, isn't just rebounding and all that stuff. You have to get an edge. One of the great attributes that Cormac Ryan and Harrison Ingram brought Carolina last year from the portal was they both played with a tremendous edge. Always with an edge. That's how Harrison got so many rebounds, so many offensive rebounds. Cormac played with an edge. He would get under people's skin. It made him a better defensive player than what the grade was when he came in. I think you'll see the same thing from Cade Tyson. And there was sort of a trickle effect. It kind of spread out on everybody else. And I think that Cade Tyson's the kind of guy that his edge can fuel into other guys. You can spread it into other guys. They can catch it. It can be contagious. You touch a guy who's got an edge and suddenly you got an edge. There's something about that part of his game, which I think will translate very well to a team I think that wants to play that way. They already have a couple of guys with a Withers and with a Trimble, dudes that already do play with that kind of an edge. So I think that will be a welcome addition in that respect as well. I mentioned defense. He's a pretty solid defensive player. I watched quite a few of his games here in the last few weeks, and I watched him, even on defense. I didn't watch the ball. And I think he plays pretty well off the ball. Maybe not great on the ball, but he plays pretty well off the ball. And that's an important part of defense. You know, Hubert often talks about, when people talk about defense, they talk about, well, only when a guy is guarding the ball. But there are so many other aspects to it, and playing defense is one of five. And if you play well off the ball, that means you can really play one of five. That means you could be a good help side defender. It means you could be a good communicator because you're aware, you see things, you're communicating things. And I think he will bring that to the court as well. A few things about his numbers that I looked up. He had 20 points in 10 different games last year. He was in double figures 25 times for a team that went 20-13, and they went 12-8 in the Missouri Valley, which is a pretty good league. There's some good teams in that league. Indiana State's in that league. You have Illinois State, Northern Iowa, and Evansville. You got a lot of good programs in that conference. And remember, Wichita got to the Final Four out of that league. Loyola of Chicago, Loyola of Illinois got to the Final Four out of that league as well. So Belmont, a good program with a good history. And they used to have a great coach named Rick Byrd. He's been retired now for about 6 years. And another thing, by the way, about Cade Tyson is his brother, Hunter Tyson, was a stud at Clemson and was a rookie this past year in the NBA with the Denver Nuggets. So there's some good bloodlines there. Hunter was very athletic, a guy who also played with an edge. I don't know if Cade is as athletic. It's hard to tell sometimes with the way Belmont plays because they are deliberate at times. I think at North Carolina, everything that is in his basketball pores will come out. And we'll see how athletic he is. We'll see how well he could play defensively on a consistent basis and how well he connects with other players on the court as far as getting them the ball, helping them be better, other than just being a guy who, A, doesn't get in the way, B, doesn't occupy the ball doesn't stick with him. So Cade Tyson is the latest addition to the North Carolina roster. This has been percolating for a while. There were some things that had to get worked out. Basically, when he was on his visit, it was pretty clear he wanted to go there, but like I said, some stuff had to get worked out. It has been worked out. And I would think North Carolina is very, very pleased with this latest addition to the program. If you're excited about Cade Tyson joining the Tar Heels, go ahead and click like on this video. If you're excited about what he can bring to the team and you're looking forward to seeing how he meshes, go ahead and click like on this video. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell so you get updates every time we post a video, and tell your friends we're here. Tell all your Carolina friends that we're here. Have them come on over. And don't forget that, guys, for just $8.33 a month for a 1-year subscription, you can be a Tar Heel Insider too. I'm AJ. Thanks for stopping by.